Greetings, everyone who's watching. This is the Yellow Corner brought to you by Masandawana Fan Vlog, a YouTube channel by Masandawana supporters, but for all football lovers. I'm Thabiso and I'm joined by my brother Rapelang, and we're here to preview our Game Week 3 Champions League match against Ahly away in Cairo. Raps, how are you?
I'm not the
No, I'm okay, man. I'm okay. Any nerves going into this one?
I got no nerves. I'm just looking forward to this fixture, what is going to offer for the football lovers and neutral fans at large. But I'm not scared. I'm just taking it like any other game.
Because I've missed quite a few games and I relied on you for updates. Should I read out the halftime message that you sent me from last week's game against El Marek? Or what?
But I'm support the Sundowns soon.
Okay, Neja. Rabs, in the last few years, when we faced Ahly, it's been in the knockout stages. We're facing them in the group stages. Do you think that makes a difference in terms of planning and everything to do with the game?
I don't think there's much difference between facing them in the group stages and facing them in the knockout stages because I think both teams want to win, more especially the team that is playing at home because of against Ahly they managed to get a point. So I think for them, they'd want to win this game so that they get to 4 points. But for Mamelodi Sundowns, I think it is a team that comes to this game looking for positive result, maybe a draw, but I think they're a team that they don't want to lose this game. But I think meeting them in the group stages doesn't make any difference because of these are still two sides that want to win this game. And I think for us, winning this game at home at Cairo, I think it will send a strong message to all other teams that are in the Champions League. But for Ahly winning at home, I think it will give them a confidence going to the next games of the Champions League because of in the league they've performed very well. But like I've said, I don't think it will make a difference playing them in the group stages or in the knockout stages.
You said for us winning at home in Cairo, you're calling it home because that's where we got our one and only star. But yeah.
I did a mistake, but because of Cairo, so it's high.
Yeah, but I think with this game, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, these are two big teams in the continent, and I think the one thing that comes into play a Haholo in such a game, even though, like I said, it's not a knockout game but a group game, is that pride. You know that thing, Yaure, we can't lose to these guys. They both sets of coaches, they won't come out and say they saying it to the guys, hey, you can't lose to this team. But behind closed doors, those are the chats that they're having with, hey, you guys need to send a message, you need to beat these ones. So I think pride is at stake. More so, I believe, for us, because, I mean, in recent times, we've faced this team like 6 times, and they've beaten us 3 times. We've proper clapped them, but it was only once, and we've played 2 draws. So I think, man, that thing, we haven't beaten this team more than once, man. We need to send out a message, and like you said, they're doing quite well. Leaking Yabona, they currently number 1. They've played 8 games, they've won 7, they've drawn 1, lost 0, sitting on 22 points. They've scored 23 games and conceded 23 goals and conceded only 7. So they've just come back from the Club World Cup where they won the silver medal, making them the 3rd best team in the world. So yeah, it's going to be a battle for us. apart from technical stuff, yeah, we're not having our former guys in their technical team like now, like for Mo Musi, Coach Pito, Kanakimang, the physical train KB, Wabo.
Yeah.
They have Pacey, and he's been out injured, but he started training this week. He didn't play in midweek when they played the league game where they won 4-0. I think they saved him for this game. Yet I still don't think they will start him. Your take on that?
On
Pacey, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they don't want to rush him to into this game. I think they want to introduce him in the second half, and also maybe they want, you know, that PC once he comes from the bench, he gives you those fresh legs, and the opponents are a little bit tired, so that is where he can expose the opponent. So I think, like you are saying, I doubt he will start this game, but I think he will come from the bench.
Yeah, and I think he will come from the bench, and you know, Percy is a quality player, man. He can come from the bench and cause us serious problems, or he can come from the bench and struggle because of match fitness, and you'd hope he lacks a serious match fitness, and he struggles if he does get the minutes. Rabs, Al Ahly are a great side. We can't dispute that. They are a well-coached team. They are on autopilot, man. They have a million strengths. What have you picked up? What are their strengths? So these Bonang when things that we need to look out for, guard against, and you know.
Look, I think first of all, Al Ahly, like you're saying, they have a good squad, and also what I like about their squad, it is a mixture of young players and experienced players. You find out against Al Hilal, their starting lineup, I think they had about 4 or 5 players who are under 25. So it shows that they're a team that believes in the youngsters. But coming to the field, I think one of their strengths is having Ahly Malul at left back, because of he's a very offensive fullback, and also he's a threat going or supporting the attack. As much as his goals usually comes from the penalty, but he's really a threat going up front. And also remember, I think 2 seasons back when we met them, I think he scored a goal against us. And also, you can't mention their strengths without speaking about Dieng. I think Dieng is a very brilliant player. He's a very good midfielder. And also, he's active and involved in the build-up phase as well in the attacking phases all over the pitch. He's the one that helps the team to initiate those attacks, and also he's there to provide support to the offensive guys in attack as well. And also they tend to play those unexpected long balls behind the defense, looking for the speed of El Shahad, Sherif, and so other pacey players that they have up front. So the space between the defense and the goalkeeper, I think, should be very minimum, so that how ball behind our defense, you know that Dennis comes out and clears the ball this time, unlike the first leg, go Cairo. And also their mobility up front, like the way they interchange the positions and the way they move around to create space for themselves, and also to drag the opponents away. I think they are very excelling in that department in terms of being mobile up front and giving the defenders a struggle to panic and do not and defenders to struggle, not knowing who to pick and who to let go. I think that is one of their strengths up front.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they have quite a lot of strengths, man. I mean, they are the third best team in the world. They are coached by a coach who, I don't know how Coach Pizzo doesn't get the recognition that he deserves when it comes to these individual awards, but hey, we all know it has to do with where he's from and his skin color, man. But yeah, with that said, man, I think the one thing that Al Ahly, like most North Africans teams have that maybe we lack, it's how mentally strong they are. Sometimes teams that Al Ahly, they don't need to dominate the game for them to win it. So you can dominate the game, not take your chances. They get the first chance, they carry it. I mean, you look at last time when we played them away in Cairo, immediately after our second best chance, they went the other side and then they scored. So psychologically, I think they have a psychological edge over us, over our players. You mentioned Malul. I mean, yeah, he's brilliant, Rapelang. He's a modern fullback. He's a modern wing back. He's just brilliant on the left. I mean, his crossing is always immaculate. And another thing, Kamalun, that he does that strikers appreciate is crossing the ball on time. Sometimes he doesn't even trap the ball. He plays it quickly so that it doesn't give the defense enough time to set up or mark properly. So he's very good with that. I mean, I was looking at his stats from the Club World Cup only. Club World Cup only, he averaged 85 touches per game. That's a lot for a person who's supposed to be a defender. But because he gets involved so much in the attack, hence he averages that. I mean, his pass accuracy, 76%. That's brilliant. That's in the green, man. And he created 2 big chances. Wow, that's a lot for him, to be honest, for a fullback. Wow. So he overlaps. He's just brilliant on the left. Wow. And then you have someone like Afsha. Afsha more line up, it will say he's gonna be playing on the right side of the front line. It says that, but he doesn't stay there. And I actually believe last season when we played them, I think Yenale Gaston had the same roles. They were both set to be on the right. Yes, they start from the right, but they have the freedom to roam around anywhere in attack. So Afshaman is. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention something. Malul currently has 4 goals this season. Yes, he scores the penalty and all that, but 4 goals for a coming for a defender. There are midfielders who don't get 4 goals the whole season. Yeah. And then, as I was mentioning, Afsha, he finds the pockets. Afsha reads the game. He knows when to use qualitative superiority. He moves to that side. Sometimes, Malulu Tole. Tahir, whereby when Tahir sometimes would cut inside and give Malul space, and then you find out there's now 3 of them on the left, and they cause havoc for the opponents. And I mean, after he finds pockets, he roams around that zone 14 area. He can see a pass and he can play that pass. He's currently on the assisted A5 this season. So he's another player to watch. And then, I really would love to see Dieng Lechali go head to head. But the problem is that in most situations, they are both on the right-hand side of their side's midfield. So, because I feel both teams are going to go for midfield trio. So, but because Dieng moves around the whole pitch, he covers so much ground, it's absolutely insane. Maybe there will be the 2 elephants will come head to head, and hopefully the ground will suffer. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that. And like you mentioned, Dieng, man, he can initiate into build up. He can push with the ball. He did that a lot against a team like Palmeiras. So for him to do that against such a quality side, man, it tells you everything you need to know about that guy. And like I mentioned, qualitative superiority that they use on the left. I think that's their strongest side. Hani is very good on the right. He's very, very good. Ne? But they don't use the right as much as they use the left. Where there's Tahir. I think Tahir will play where he played last season on the left, but looking to cut inside. But as good as they are, man, they must have the weaknesses. And like any other team, we have the weaknesses. I think one of their weaknesses that I picked up more so when we played them last season, we played a front three, Gaston, Gift centrally as the focal point of attack, and then Shaluli starting on the left-hand side. But their center backs struggled with the interchange where Shalu would get into, move centrally, and then maybe Gift go to the side, maybe to the right. They didn't have that thing passing him on to maybe Malul when he goes to their left, our right. So they struggled with the interchange of position quite a lot in that match. And then quick movement. I saw this the second half. Quick movement around that zone 14 area whereby you don't make more than 2 passes. You trap, you pass, or you pass immediately. It dismantles their defensive organization and shape. Sometimes you find one of their center backs getting dragged into trying to press the ball, and as they press the ball, they leave a space behind that can give a team a chance to play the 1-2. We had a chance where we played, we moved the ball quickly, in that chance. Gift second half where he killed it and then Tom made a brilliant save. And then there was another one where we had a chance, just that I can't remember whether it was Kemet, lost ball or something like that. And their rest defense, more so when they play midfield too, is very poor. The goal that they concede, you look at the goal that they concede when they play Palmeiras, the ball is on the right, it's their ball. They try to move and initiate and to build up. They lose the ball. As they lose the ball, both El Sulay and Dieng try and press the ball and the men on the ball. And the ball is quickly played into the hole that they've left behind them. The Palmeiras players, and then it leads to a goal. Similar to a goal that we considered against Pirates, Orlando Stadium a few years ago. I think it was, I can't remember whether it was Mhango or Mang who scored, but it was someone, their striker who was on form. No, Trompo pressing instead of trying to cover into shape, cover the team and keep the shape and not allow, like shutting down the passing lanes. So, and Golia, second Golia and Toya, Palmeiras, their rest defense is something that we can look to exploit. And Rapelang, most of our 3 best chances, we had 4 good chances, big opportunities in that match last season. 3 of those came from the set pieces. They struggled with the set pieces in that match. So I think with proper set pieces, we will be able to head them. Werner?
Yeah, I think in this game, they will definitely miss their number 1 goalkeeper because of he has been very consistent.
No, he's back. He's back. He played on Tuesday. When did he play? Monday or Tuesday? He played. So yeah, he's back. Tuesday. He's back. Yeah, he's back. He's back. Now he's back.
Look, yeah. I think one of the weaknesses that I've picked up is that the space between their 2 midfielders and the center backs. I think that space, it is very huge. And a guy like Ajagun in their first game of Champions League, he exploited that space very well. I think he just needed someone alongside him so that he can share the ball with him. But he was very brilliant between that space, and he did very well because of he would be in between the defense and the midfield. And with with that weakness, a guy like Nascimento, who has an eye for a pass, he was going to be very influential in this game because he will give us that forward pass where he can pick up the players who's in between the lines. And also, they are not quick enough to close the spaces. I think sometimes, like you've said, Ahly Dieng loves to push the ball, loves to travel with the ball forward. And that it may be a strength and advantage, or it can be a weakness for them because of once he lose the ball in the high up in the pitch, that means there's only one defensive midfielder in the pitch, in that central space. It can be a Fati or their number 17. So I think as soon as Dieng goes forward, I think we should try to win the ball as soon as possible, and we exploit that space. And also,
and sorry to interject. This goes back to the chat that we had a few weeks ago. Haneki mentioned Daji complaining about how slow we are in transition. Yeah. In such a situation, you win the ball, and as you win it, you played quick into the offensive line to capitalize on the numerical superiority that you have in that moment.
And the goals that they considered against Palmeiras, the team. Palmeiras, the team that they played in the Club World Cup. Like that team, it was very quick, and it was difficult for Ahly to regroup and organize themselves and defend, because of those guys. Once they win the ball, they make quick forward passes and they don't delay time on the ball. You find that the person who receives the ball, he flicks the ball to the other player. So those quick touches, they gives you an advantage because of you can outnumber them, and also they will be forced to defend facing their own goals. And also that's how their second goal came about. So, and also I think Ahly Dieng playing as a number 8, he can be very influential and is very brilliant. But when he plays as a number 6, I think he gets limited because he can't push forward. And also every time when he plays as a number 6, he receives the ball facing his own goals. Unlike when he plays as a number 8, where he's at least high up in the pitch, where he receives the ball and he can turn and accelerate with the ball by pushing forward. So I think if he plays as a number 6, I think his Ahly side is going to be limited because of he can force him to make those bad passes or force him not to turn with the ball and pick up the offensive players.
Yeah, hence I said initially at the beginning of this, I think both are going to play midfield 3. Both teams are going to play midfield. You play 2, you're going to get exposed. You are going to get outrun. You're going to get, but I think this is how they will line up. I think they will start El Shenawi, obviously, and then they'll have Hani on the right, and then they'll have Rabia and Yasse as their 2 center backs, and then obviously Malul on the left, and then the midfield 3. I think they will have Fati, Dieng, and El Soler, just so that it helps in terms of rest defense that they don't get done by it. And then forward, I think they'll go with the front 3 they started with last season when we played them away. Afsha will start on the right but have a free role, and then Tahir on the left, and then Sheriff up top. Raps, Sundowns, how do we beat this well-oiled machine that is Al Ahly?
I think first of all, we should rectify the mistake that we made against Al Ahly. Look, last season, I think the team, it was too desperate to beat Musimani instead of being desperate to beat this Al Ahly side. I think we should know that we are playing against a team, not an individual who is on the bench. So I think we should change that mindset and approach the game differently. how can we beat this Al side? I think first of all, we have to be consistent throughout the game. Both halves, we should be consistent. Unlike when we played Al Hilal and when we played El Marik, where we were only brilliant in the first half. So I think this game, it is whereby we should remain consistent both in the first half and in the second half. Look, I think because of they are playing at home, they might want to have more of the ball position. And so I think for us, we should be very cautious, and we should not offer them those spaces where they can penetrate and exploit. So we should force them to make those sideways passes and back passes as well. And also, the more we are level, and the more that they get frustrated, and the more that they are going to be desperate for a goal. That means they will push a lot of numbers forward, and there will be space behind because of they are desperate to get a goal. Remember, they are playing at home and they want to win. So once you go in the halftime or in the second half level with them, I think you stand a chance of winning the game or finishing the game with a point, because of they score a lot of goals in the first half. So once they fail to score in the first half, I think you have an edge where you can score in the second half and protect your lead. And also, I think, like I mentioned, the space between the defense and the middle field. I think that space, it is whereby we should capitalize and create those goal scoring opportunities. But we'll only create those chances if we are quick on the ball, we make forward passes, and also we don't delay and spend a lot of time on the ball, because once they are out of position, we shouldn't offer them space and time to regroup and be organized. And also, I think, first of all, this game, it calls for us to be more direct. I think we should use skill going forward. I think we should dribble them, try to go past them. So I think a guy like Ralan, who can be direct and use his skill to penetrate, I think in this game, I think can offer us something. And also, lastly, I think we should apply ourselves. All the 11 players should apply themselves in the pitch, and also we should make sure that we execute our plan very well.
Yeah, no. Buile bana kana sotho se reng nko go tswa le mina yeah I hope I'm not well, I think you look at what you did well last season and you try and improve it. Set pieces, the corners, they struggled, and it seemed like a weapon that can work against us. I mean, the 3 chances that I mentioned that came from the corners, the big chances, as well as the fact that the goal that we scored at home against them was from a set piece, tells you, this is something that we can, a weapon that we can use and capitalize on. But this time we use it in a way of, I've noticed a marking yabona, they put, I'm not sure if I want to call this a zonal marking, I'll maybe say hybrid. They have more lining the small box. That's where they defend mostly. And last season, that's where we had our headers positioned. So this season, maybe work on it, rely on it, the outswinger, instead of positioning, say, our 3 best headers. In this case, it would be Deruk, Onyango, as well as Shalulile, because of their height. Maybe have them start point someone on the line of the box, and then they attack the ball. Then you have the other players, you use them as the blockers, blocking the defense from charging towards defending our attackers who will be attacking the set piece. Sundowns Rapelang is a team that plays positional play. And positional play is all about superiority. And there are 3 ways of superiority. It's numerical, qualitative, and positional. In recent times, we've not applying those 3 things in our games. This is the game that we need to apply getting into the different zones at the right time, using qualitatives superiority at the right time, picking or no. This is their weakness in this game. Let's move most of our good players to that side. We've honestly not been doing that this season. And then you improve from performance. Yeah, last season, I believe we played well away. We got into the right zones, yet we made poor decisions. We made poor passes. It's either we passed the ball way too early or too late, a second late, or the weight of the pass was not correct. So you need to rectify that. And then the thing that I mentioned earlier on, in terms of how you dismantle or their defensive organization, quick movement and passing in the final third, interchanging of the possession. Hence, I'm gonna start a player that most people wouldn't think he would start. So that's what I think we need to do. And then you need to take your chances when they come. This is not a game whereby we get of 3 chances we score 1. No, of the first chance you score that very first chance. You take chances when they come. Last season we used the Mad Dogs in Bob Lesser, Lento, Limaboe for the press, but we played in a very we played the 80s. I want to play differently in that day. Mabue was the furthest forward because he presses better than anyone in our team. And then Blesser on the left, he was more reserved because I think they told him, hey, as much as we want you to add numbers going forward, but Afsha is dangerous. So check when you go and you don't go. We did that a lot in the first half. So I believe our Mad Dogs were very good off the ball on the day, but they didn't give us much on the ball. Hence, this in this game, I'm gonna go for the 82 that I would want us to give us a lot on the ball. And those 8 you'll hear Hakiba mention as we talk about the lineup. But I think this is the game where you play a midfield 3. Rabs, psychologically, how do you think this affects Dennis Onyango? Yes, he's a very experienced goalkeeper, but he is human after all. We know what happened after that game, the abuse he got on social media, man. Do you think, like how we started, the fact that it's a group match, or instead of a knockout, it wouldn't weigh much on his psychological, his mental preparedness for the day?
Look, I think obviously we'll have that a blunder on his mind, but I'm expecting him not to be affected by that a blunder he made the last time we faced Ahly at Cairo. So I'm expecting him to show that he's a big player. I'm expecting him to show that he's very experienced. I don't want a guy like Dennis, who has been one of the best goalkeepers in the continent, to be affected by his past mistakes that he made when we played Cairo. So I think he will still think about that goal, but I don't think coming into this game, I don't think it will affect him, because of, like, Dennis is a goalkeeper sometimes would have a blunder once or twice in the season, but still he remains one of the best goalkeeper that we have. So I don't think coming into this game, I don't think it will affect him at all.
Okay, yeah, no, I think it's something that he needs to forget about it, man. Because the more you think about it, it will lead to other mistakes. Rabs, does Sundowns have a point to prove in this match?
I think we do, because of, remember, we haven't won in Cairo when we played Ahly. So I think this is a chance for us to show that we are capable to beat this team away. So, like, we remember, Pirates, it is the only team that has won against Ahly in Egypt. So they always brag about that. So I think for us, we should beat this team, Thabiso. We should beat this team. I think last season we showed that we are positive about winning this game. So I think we should continue where we left off, especially in the first leg where we lost 2-0.
Yeah, it might not be said in public, but we do have a point to prove. And for us to beat this team, we have to first score, something that we have never done in the recent times when you've gone to Egypt, score away from home. This is how I think we line up. I think we need to play a 4-4-2 diamond in this match. So this would be my lineup. Onyango, Mudau, Onyango, Deruk, Lakay, midfield 3, yeah, Riva, who was brilliant in that first match away. I'm not saying this because he's my favorite player, but he was very good on the ball on the day, Riva. And yeah, he was brilliant, man. And then the 80s are Ibejali, Mukwena, who are very good on the ball. Not just, I don't just want the 80 that will work hard off it. I want 8 that will be very good on the ball, because for you to win the game, you need the ball. And then my front three would be Zwane playing just behind the 2 nines. Zwane played this position when we played this system at the beginning of last season, and he was brilliant there. So it will be Kutumela and Shalulile. I went for Kutumela because Kutumela, off the ball, he gives you something Etwanangle a gift gave us in that match, whereby he pressed their defense, their center backs. He made them work. So that's what I want to. And I think Kutu will be good with interchanging of the position in Mole. He can come deep, be a 9.5. He can go on the side, be a 10. Can come inside, be a 9. So that's why I'm going for this system and this lineup. Your lineup?
Look, I think my lineup is almost similar as yours, but I would start Sabres Ralani ahead of Kutumela.
And then you change the system into a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Instead of a 4-4-2 diamond, ne?
Yeah.
Okay. Predictions?
I have 2 predictions for this game.
Do one.
It's either we are going to lose 2-0 again, or we are going to win 1-0. I don't think this is a game that will end in a draw. I don't think so. There will be a winner in this game. It's either
if we win, who's scoring?
I think Tewomkwena will score a cracker outside the box.
I think 1-1. I didn't think about the goal scorer unless you mentioned Debza. I'll give it to Debza. So I think it will be a 1-1 draw, man. Yeah, Masanda one and everyone that's watched. That's another episode of the Yellow Corner done. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. And after subscribing, you see that bell next to the word subscribe. Please click on it so that you get notifications every time we upload anything, any content. So yeah, you will see the guys on Sunday as they bring you the match review and ratings of this game. So yeah, man, all the best of luck to the boys. We know that they definitely watch this. So all the best of luck to them. No pressure, gents. Just do your best and yeah, make us proud and happy. You will see us next week, Friday, when we preview our match against Maritzburg, our league match against Maritzburg away. Cheers. Sharp, Ndogish.
Danko.